Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. In today's lecture, we will study theory portions of Cartesian system of rectangular coordinates. So let's move forward. In this chapter, we will first study rectangular coordinates. After that, we will discuss about the distance formula. We will see the section formula. We will see how can we calculate the area of triangle. The coordinates of three of its vertices are given. Next, we will see area of some other geometrical figures. We will see coordinate of different points of a triangle. We will see some important rules related to coordinates. Changes of axis. Next, we will see the slope of a line, parallel and perpendicular lines on the coordinate axis. And after that, we will see the locus and its equation, right? The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. So let's move. So first we will discuss what are rectangular coordinates. So we are given a figure. You can see let x o x dash and y o y dash be two perpendicular axes in the plane intersecting at O as shown in the figure. Let P be any point in the plane. Draw PM perpendicular to OX. The ordered pair xy is called the rectangular or Cartesian coordinates of point P, right? The ordered pair xy is called the rectangular or Cartesian coordinates of point P. Got it? Okay. So let us see what is distance formula. Let point P having coordinate x1, y1 and point Q having coordinate x2, y2 be the 2 points. Then PQ, that is distance d between the points between the point P and Q, can be written as root over x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, or root over x2 minus x2 minus x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Clear? So distance between 0 0 and xy is basically root over x square plus y square, right? Root over x square plus y. Now, let us see what is section formula. The coordinates of a point which divide the line segment joining 2 points P x1 y1 and Q x2 y2 in the ratio m1 is to m2 are. First, m1 x2 plus m2 x1 upon m1 plus m2. Second, m1 y2 plus m2 y1 upon m1 plus m2. Right? It is called internal division. Next, for external division, the coordinates will be m1 x2 minus m2 x1 upon m1 minus m2 and m1 y2 minus m2 y1 upon m1 minus m2. Right? Where m1 and m2 are the positive sign are of positive signs, then the when m1 m2 are of positive signs, then division is external. Midpoint of line joining x1 and joining x1 y1 and x2 y2 is x1 plus x2 y2 and y1 plus y2 y2, right? Coordinates of any point on one line segment which divide the line segment joining 2 points P having coordinate x1 y1 and q x2 y2 in the ratio lambda is to 1 are given by x1 plus lambda x2 upon lambda plus 1 and y1 plus lambda y2 upon lambda plus 1, where lambda not equal to 1, lambda not equal to minus 1, right? Now x axis and y axis divides the line segment joining the points x1 y1 and x2 y2 in the ratio of minus of y1 upon y2 and minus of x1 upon x2 respectively. If the ratio is positive, then the axis divides it internally, and if ratio is negative, the axis divides externally, right? Axis divides externally. Got it? Okay. Now let us see the area of a triangle. Area of a triangle whose three vertices has coordinates x1 y1 and x2 y2 and x3 y3, as shown in the given figure. As shown in the figure given by, area of triangle ABC is half into x1 y2 plus x2 y3 plus x3 y1 and minus y1 x minus of y1 x2 plus y2 x3 plus y3 x1, right? So it can be further simplified as 1 by 2 into modulus of x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2, right? Therefore, it can be written as 1 by 2 into determinant of x1 y1 1, x2 y2 1 and x3 y3 1, right? It should be noted that area is a positive quantity and its unit is square of unit length, right? Area is a positive quantity and its unit is square of unit length, right? In the inverse problem, that is when area of a triangle is given to be a square units, then we have area of triangle ABC is half into modulus of determinant of x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3 and 1, 1, 1. Clear? Is equal to A. Therefore, 1 by 2 into determinant value of x1, x2, x3, y1, y2, y3, 1, 1, 1 can be written as equal to plus minus A, right? Plus minus A. Note, if area of triangle ABC is 0, it means points are collinear, right? Area of triangle ABC are 0, that means points are collinear. Here you can observe that when points are when point A, this point A will lie on the BC, then that means points are collinear, that is area will be 0. Clear? Area of triangle will be 0. Got it? Now let us see area of some geometrical figures. So suppose A and B are the adjacent sides of a parallelogram as given in the figure, and theta be the angle between them as shown in the figure. Then the area of parallelogram can be calculated as area of parallelogram ABCD is basically AB sine theta, right? AB into sine theta. So area of convex quadrilateral with vertices x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 and x4 y4 in that order is 1 by 2 into determinant of x1 minus x3, x2 minus x4, y1 minus y3 and y2 minus y4, right? A triangle having vertices AT1 is quite 281, AT2 is quite 282 and AT3 is quite 283, then area of triangle is A square into T1 minus T2 into T2 minus T3 into T3 minus T1, right? Therefore, area of triangle formed by coordinate axis and the lines AX plus BY plus C is equal to C square upon 2AB, right? Is equal to C square upon 2AB. Got it? Now let's move to the next part. So coordinates of different points of a triangle. Centroid. We have a given triangle having coordinates of its vertices are x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. The centroid of a triangle is the point of intersection of its median, right? Centroid is basically points of intersection of its median. It divides the median in the ratio 2:1, right? Centroid basically divides the median in the ratio 2:1. If A x1 y1 and B x2 y2 and C x3 y3 are the vertices of triangle ABC, then the coordinates of its centroid G are x1 plus x2 plus x3 by 3 and y1 plus y2 plus y3 by 3, right? Let us see orthocenter. So what is orthocenter? The orthocenter of a triangle is the point of intersection of its altitude, right? Orthocenter is basically points of intersection of altitude. If A x1 y1 and B x2 y2 and C x3 y3 are the vertices of triangle ABC, then the coordinates of its orthocenter O are x1 10A plus x2 10B plus x3 10C upon 10A plus 10B plus 10C and y1 10A plus y2 10B plus y3 10C upon 10A plus 10B plus 10C, right? Clear? So these are the coordinates of orthocenter. Okay, let's move. Coordinates of different points of a triangle. Circumcenter. So the circumcenter of a triangle is the point of intersection of perpendicular bisector of its sides, right? Perpendicular bisectors of its sides. It is the center of the circle passing through the vertices of a triangle, and so it is equidistant from the vertices of the triangle. Let OA is equal to OB is equal to OC, where O is the center of the circle and ABC are the vertices of a triangle. The coordinates of the circumcenter are also given by S is equal to x1 sine 2A plus x2 sine 2B plus x3 sine 2C upon sine 2A plus sine 2B plus sine 2C and y1 sine 2A plus y2 sine 2B plus y3 sine 2C upon sine 2A plus sine 2B plus sine 2C, right? Now let us find the incenter. We have a triangle having the coordinates of vertices are A x1 y1, B x2 y2 and C x3 y3. The point of intersection of the internal bisectors of the angle of the triangle is called its incenter, right? Points of intersection of internal bisectors of angles of a triangle is called its incenter. So if coordinates of A are x1 y1, B x2 y2 and C x3 y3 are the vertices of a triangle ABC, such that BC is equal to A, CA is equal to B and AB is equal to C, then the coordinates of the incenter are AX1 plus BX2 plus CX3 upon A plus B plus C and AY1 plus BY1, AY1 plus BY2 plus CY3 upon A plus B plus C, right? Clear? Okay, coordinates of different points of a triangle, X centers. So coordinates of X center opposite to angle A is given by I1 is equal to minus AX1 plus BX2 plus CX3 upon minus A plus B plus C and minus AY1 plus BY2 plus CY3 upon minus A plus B plus C. And similarly for X centers I2 and I3 opposite to angle B and angle C are given by I2 बराबर ax1 minus bx2 plus cx3 upon a minus b plus c, ay1 minus by2 plus cy3 upon a minus b plus c, and I3 is ax1 plus bx2 minus cx3 upon a plus b minus c, and ay1 plus by2 minus cy3 upon a plus b minus c. In an equilateral triangle, orthocenter, centroid, and circumcenter, orthocenter, centroid, circumcenter, and incenter coincides, right? Clear? You have to keep in mind in equilateral triangle, orthocenter, centroid, circumcenter, and incenter coincide. Okay. So let us see some important results. Circumcenter of right angle triangle ABC, right angle at A is B plus C by 2. Orthocenter of right angle triangle ABC, right angle at A is A. Orthocenter, centroid, circumcenter of a triangle are collinear. Next, centroid divides the line joining the orthocenter and circumcenter in the ratio 2:1. The circumcenter of right angle triangle is the midpoint of the hypotenuse. Clear? A triangle is isosceles if any two of its medians are equal. Clear? A triangle is isosceles if any two of its medians are equal. Got it? Okay. So let us see change of axis. To alter the origin of coordinates without altering the direction of the axis. Clear? So let origin O be shifted to a point AB by moving the x and y axis parallel to themselves. Then the coordinates of point V with reference to the old axis are x1, y1. Then the coordinates of this point with respect to new axis will be x1 minus a and y1 minus b. X1 minus a and y1 minus b. Right. So change of axis. Let us see change of axis. To change the direction of the axis of coordinates without changing the origin, let OX and OY be the old axis and OX dash and OY dash be the new axis obtained by rotating the old OX and OY through an angle theta. Then the coordinates of P, X, Y with respect to new coordinates axis will be given by C. You just have to replace or multiply with this matrix, right? Cos theta, sin theta, and minus sin theta, cos theta. Clear? X and Y are old coordinates and X dash and Y dash are new coordinates, right? The axis rotation in anti-clockwise is positive and clockwise of axis is negative, right? Clockwise rotation of axis is negative, right? Okay, let us see to change the direction of the axis of coordinates by changing the origin. If P, X, Y and the axis are shifted parallel to the original axis, so that new origin is alpha beta, and then the axes are rotated about the new origin alpha beta by angle phi in the anti-clockwise x dash y dash, then the coordinates of P will be given by x is equal to alpha plus x dash cos phi minus y dash sin phi, and y is equal to beta plus x dash sin phi plus y dash cos phi, right? Got it? Now let us see slope of a line. We have a given line having coordinates x1, y1 and x2, y2. Clear? So the tangent of the angle that a line makes with positive direction of x-axis is called the slope or gradient of the line. The slope of the line is generally denoted by m. Thus, m is equal to tan theta. M is equal to tan theta. Slope of a line in terms of coordinates of any 2 points on it. Let p x1, y1 and q x2, y2 be 2 points on a line making an angle theta with the positive direction of x-axis. Then its slope m is given by m is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 is equal to difference of ordinates upon difference of abscissa, right? Difference of ordinates upon difference of abscissa, right? Now let us see parallel and perpendicular lines. A line parallel to x-axis making an angle of 0 degree with x-axis, therefore its slope is tan 0 degree is equal to 0. A line parallel to y-axis that is perpendicular to x-axis makes an angle of 90 degree with x-axis, so its slope is tan pi by 2, which is infinity. Also, the slope of a line equally inclined with axis is 1 or minus 1, as it makes an angle 45 degree or 135 degree with x-axis, right? Clear? Now let us see locus of its equation. Locus and its equation. Locus, it is a path or a curve traced by a moving point satisfying the given condition. Equation to the locus of a point. The equation to the locus of a point is the algebraic relation which is satisfied by the coordinates of every point on the locus of the point, right? Steps to find the locus of a point. The following steps are used to find the locus of a point. Step 1. Assume the coordinates of the point, say hk, whose locus is to be found. Step 2, write the given condition involving h and k. Step 3, eliminate the variables if any. Step 4, we will replace h with x and k with y. The equation so obtained is the locus of the point which moves under some definite conditions, right? You have to keep in mind. Okay, let us see the summary of this chapter. What we have discussed till now in this chapter, we have seen rectangular coordinates, which is let x o x dash and y o y dash be the two perpendicular axes in the plane intersecting at O. Clear, which we had discussed with the help of figure. So we had taken a point P at point P, any point in the plane. We have drawn PM perpendicular to OX. The ordered per XY is called rectangular or Cartesian coordinates of point P, right? So we have seen distance formula in which we have seen distance between 2 points having coordinate x1, y1, and x2, y2 is x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, or it can also be written as root over x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Distance between the points x1, 0, 0 and xy is root over x square plus y square. After that, we have seen section formula in which we have seen two parts. When the coordinates of point which divide a line segment joining point P, which is x1, y1 and q, x2, y2 in the ratio m1 is to m2 are for internal division, coordinates where m1 x2 plus m2 x1 upon m1 plus m2 and m1 y2 plus m2 y1 upon m1 plus m2. And for external division, coordinates are m1 x2 minus m2 x1 upon m1 minus m2 and m1 y2 minus m2 y1 upon m1 minus m2. When m1 and m2 are the opposite signs are of opposite signs, then the division is external, right? And midpoint of line joining points x1 y1 and x2 y2 is x1 plus x2 y2 and y1 plus y2 y2, right? Clear? After that, we have seen the area of a triangle. Area of a triangle having three vertices which have coordinates x1 y1 and x2 y2 and x3 y3. So area of triangle can be calculated as 1 by 2 into modulus of x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2, which is 1 by 2 into determinant value of x1 x2 x3 y1 y2 y3 and 1 1 1. Clear? After that, we have seen area of some geometrical figures. Clear? Area of parallelogram having adjacent sides a and b. Clear? And angle between the adjacent sides is theta, can be calculated as ab sine theta. And area of convex quadrilateral with vertices x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 and x4 y4 in that order is 1 by 2 determinant value of x1 minus x3 x2 minus x4 y1 minus y3 and y2 minus y4. Area of triangle formed by the coordinate axis and the lines ax plus by plus c is c square upon 2ab, right? C square upon 2ab. Clear? After that, we have seen some important results. Clear? In which we have seen circumference of a right angle triangle ABC. Right angle at A is basically b plus c by 2. Orthocenter of right angle triangle right angle at A is A. Orthocenter centroid circumcenter of a triangle are collinear. Centroid divides the line joining orthocenter and circumcenter in the ratio 2:1. Circumcenter of right angle triangle is the midpoint of the hypotenuse. A triangle is isosceles if any two of its medians are equal. After that, we have seen slopes of a line. A line which is making an angle theta with positive direction of axis. So slope can be taken as m is equal to tan theta. After that, we have seen slope of a line in terms of coordinates of any 2 points on it. Slope. So we have 2 points P. One point is P having coordinates x1 y1 and Q having coordinate x2 y2. These are 2 points on the line making an angle theta with positive direction of axis. Then its slope m is given by m is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 is equal to difference of ordinates upon difference of abscissa, right? Clear? After that, we have seen locus, in which we have seen locus is basically the path or curve traced by a moving point satisfying the given condition, right? So in this way, we have discussed the theoretical portions of Cartesian coordinates or Cartesian system of rectangular coordinates. Hope you understood whole concepts. Clear? And hope you liked the lecture. Okay. Thank you so much.